what work do you do to help yourself heal?
Wow. I do a lot of mirror work.
Okay.
With myself. I like to
explain what that is.
So for me, it's literally me standing in front of a mirror. And I started my mirror work off just staring into my eyes because I wanted to see what was in me. And if you can never look at yourself in your own eyes to see what's in your soul, to see what's been causing the anguish and the pain and the unresolved, if you cannot look into your own eyes and see the sadness and the emptiness, it keeps you in a place of total denial, And once I saw myself and I saw the little girl who was sexually abused and raped and all of those things, I looked for her. When I was looking into my eyes, I was looking for her. And I was looking to say to her, I wanted to help in her rescue. I want her to feel better. I want her to be happy. I want her to be whole. And these are the things that I started declaring to her. And it was so powerful that I could stand in a mirror and declare, and tell her that she's no longer a part of the curse, that she can get up and she can live and she can dream again. That was the most powerful thing, that I ever witnessed within myself, And so mirror work, I just encourage, every woman, every man as well. But I want to talk to the women. I want to talk to the mothers and the daughters who have stained, mothers who have stained their daughters because they have not done the work. They have not done the mirror work, And in order to heal your children, you must first heal yourself. You have to confront what you feel like you can't conquer, and you will conquer what you can conquer what you feel like you can't confront. But you do. Michael Jackson sung a song. He said, "I'm starting with the man in the mirror."
Yeah.
And even though I had many abusers in my life, I could have been pointing my fingers at my abusers for the rest of my life.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. However, I'm like, all of my abusers, I can't confront. And I've confronted a lot of my sexual abusers, within my family, those that were out of my family. And it took a lot of courage to do that. But then I had to stand in the mirror and tell Paula, listen, I forgive you. And that was the most amazing thing, in mirror work, is forgiving yourself, from the guilt of, just believing that it was your fault, that this is why it happened.
What generational curses do you feel you've broken?
Woo, that's a lot. Well, the thing that I do want to discuss, because this is about healing, and it's definitely a taboo topic within our community, and that is incest. That generational curse is one that I feel like has snuffed out so many people within our community and with, bloodlines. And it's something that's deep and it's dark and it's hidden and not talked about. And so I vowed to always be a voice for those who are still suffering and dealing with incest, as well as those who have come out of incest, but they're still wounded they're still dealing with the pain. They're suffering in silence due to incest. So that's one of the things. The other curse is, again, like I said earlier, domestic violence. And that's really like on both sides of my bloodline. And it wasn't until my father was killed April the 3rd of 2021 that I realized like the violence.
A year ago.
Yeah, about
two.
Yeah. That curse definitely needed to be destroyed within me, that it wouldn't be passed down to my children's children. And that's important. As we see in our society today, is so much violence, there's so much hatred, there's so much, so many deaths, due to rage and violence and anger and hatred. And that was something that I had to end within me, so because I started seeing that thing in my children. Violence, anger, rage. And it was, like I said, and when my father was killed, I was like, okay, God showed me just how dark, my world, my life was through the death of my father. And in this season, in this moment, we're in 2023, because I chose to deal with that generational curse, it has allowed me to enter into the best season of healing, not just for myself, but for my mom and my daughter and my son and his wife, and then I have a grandson, so that's important.
You feel her healing has helped you heal? What's the relationship between the two?
So my mother's healing has assisted with my healing by just naturally, I came from her womb. So the more she loves herself, the more she sees herself for who she is, the more she can pour goodness into me. So, moments where she wasn't at her best, it was hard to reciprocate love because it was hard for her to pour love into my cup. And so her healing journey has assisted with me embracing more of who I am, because she's pouring what she's pouring into herself into me.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.